Hello, my darlings, and thank you for returning to Wednesdays with Wallis Psychic Medium. I'm so excited to be here, as I am every week with you, darlings. Oh, you can't imagine, you are such darlings. And for those of you, Christy, special shout out to you, darling, for doing a little answer there last week on my behalf. And you know what I'm talking about. Thank you from my heart. Thank you. Thank you for being there for me. And thank you to all of you who, who are here and you hold the space. You hold this wonderful, fabulous space for all of us. And if you don't quite understand what I'm saying when I say that, you're holding the space for me and yourselves and all of those other people who are present each week on Wednesdays with Wallis. And the way in which you're holding that space is you're being very positive, you're being very supportive, you're not being picky and petty, and as I call it. And for that, I appreciate it. I appreciate you. You're just perfect. I love you all, and I never stop telling people that when I'm talking to people, other than on this Wednesdays with Wallis program. I'm always saying how I'm here. I'm here because you. I'm here for you. Absolutely, I am. Now, so welcome. A little bit of shameless self-promotion. A lot of you, a lot of you haven't subscribed. So could we have a really big drive this week? And could you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and thought about it? Let me just say this. Some people think it costs money to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe to the channel. You just hit the subscribe button and you can unsubscribe, but just hit the subscribe button and, support the channel, because the important thing about supporting the channel is that I get likes and therefore I get, more coverage by YouTube. They, push this out to more people, and who wouldn't want more people? I just, love you all, and I want more of you to come. It's a gathering, so to speak. We're going to talk about that this week. There's been loads and loads of stuff coming. I better check my time because I want to make sure, pardon me, that I stay on track, because my PA gives me the works when I'm not on track, or I don't stay on track, and she can't put in a proper chapter thing on timing. So welcome. This week's topic is predictions of connection and unity. And I'm going to be talking about that and channeling that today, because I've had lots and lots of stuff coming. I'm going to go back into that space and, take another look at it and be open to what they give me and what they download and what sorts of things. But there is a homecoming, there is a reconnectedness to our divine selves, and there's been a more recent visitation to me by an archangel who's connected to Earth. You don't hear much of him, but in the Kabbalah, there is a Earth angel in the area that they call Malkuth, which is Earth. There's a big archangel that sits taking care of that area, and he came to me once, but we'll talk about that in a few minutes. I want to go through that and just tell you, but I want to go back and see what he's telling me because there was a recent return of him into my space over this last few days, which has been very, very interesting, because I haven't I haven't had a connection to him for many, 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 many years, other than many, many years ago when I was very sick and I had a vision, and he was in the vision, and it was wonderful. And the thing that in the vision that I connected to, was all I could sort of really cope with from this vision I was having. I was looking out a window and I saw this whole thing take place. And I was lying in bed actually looking out a window. I was so very sick. And anyway, he came. And the thing I noticed about him was his big feet. He had these big feet and sandals, and I was trying to work out who he was. And but anyway, he's the archangel of earth called Sandolphin, and he was there, and he took me on a journey to a well, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I just wanted to cover off on that a little bit. But and I also wanted to say to you that archangels, there's more archangels making themselves known. They're turning up um, more, and more, and so, and that's available to us all, not just to me, darlings. Um, it's available to you too. If you're being visited by archangels, or you're being given messages by archangels, or you're feeling the presence of particular archangels, put it in the comments below, because I'd like to hear your feedback, and I'd like to hear what you say about those archangels. Shout out to everyone on the YouTube channel, those that are returning week after week. Nick from the House of Prayer in Pennsylvania. Thank you, darling, for coming each week to support me. Martin from the UK. Love you, Martin. You always say wonderful things, and very, very supportive. And there's so many of you that are so supportive and so caring and so loving. And I love you. I just love you. And I mean it. I love you from my heart. If it wasn't for you, I just wouldn't do this. I wouldn't be doing it. I'm doing it because I know I've been called to do it, and I also know that it's of great benefit to you. So I'm doing it because it's beneficial, absolutely beneficial to you. And those of you who are returning every week know that. You know that there's a benefit in this for you. And for these few minutes every week that we spend together, I know that you benefit by that. So shout out to you all, and Chrissy and Mandy. Thank you, Mandy, for your wonderful comment. You're a darling, and I'm looking forward to it. Now, last shout out for this week is that we have, starting on this weekend, and in the US, there is the first of the psychic soirees, which is, a lot of it is around numbers and numerology, and teaching you some things about numerology and how it works and how it's beneficial for you. So that's happening this weekend. Please go, if you haven't registered. We'd love to have you along with us. It's $47 US, and you can go onto the website boldnotold.com.au and register for that. This week it's in the US time, and which is on the 15th, I think. Oh gosh, golly gee, I'm making a muck of this. I haven't got it in front of me, but please go to the website and have a look and register if you're at all interested. Please do that. This is your last opportunity this week, because it's being held 7 o'clock in the evening Eastern Standard Time in the US. And then the following weekend is the UK, and I'd love to have more of you register for the UK and Australia. You can register on that too, because it's a good time for you like it's in Australia, because it's evening here, early evening. So it goes for a couple of hours. Come and join us, and have your gin and tonic or your glass of wine in your hand. I don't mind that at all. And let's enjoy the evening together and a bit of a chat. And I will be doing some readings on both those accounts. Okay, that's it. That's my little bit of a shout out. Now, let me do a couple of readings here before I get into what has gone on this last week and the sorts of things that have been coming up and going down and around and all over the place, so to speak. Let me do this. I'm going to pull out both my uh, sets of cards, and one's the Rider-Waite pack, and the other one is my Soul Wisdom Oracle cards. There they are there. And there's still some of those available for purchase, or you can go and download the book, the ebook for them, and there's cards in the ebook. And a little shout out, pardon me, to Suzanne. Thank you, Suzanne, for your wonderful comment. And I'm glad, and I'm really, really pleased that the reading had, some meaning for you, or was meaningful. Thank you. Okay. Let me do a little shuffle of this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a reading for, where are you? Annie Preston. Okay, Annie Preston. I'm going to do this little reading for you, darling. And yeah, let's do that, sweetheart. And I only ever have my own prayer over the readings so that I deliver messages that are positive and uplifting. And I won't ever give you, even if it came, I wouldn't give you bad news or, impart anything that wouldn't be uplifting and, wonderful for you. So I just want you to know that. Don't worry about being nervous about having a reading from me. And you can book for readings. We have, oops, there's a card. I'll just keep that one out for you. Oh, okay. And you can book your readings because we have spaces available in June for readings. And oh, there you go. Boy, are they jumping out. Let's do this. Okay. All right. Okay, now this is for you, Annie Preston. A couple of cards have come out. The Sorcerer has come out, and Activating Awareness has come out. I'm going to sit those two cards because they jumped out of the pack, and I'm going to see what else I can sit over top of that. Okay, all right, that's really good. Okay, all right, so a couple of other cards came out. This one here, Fear, and this one here, the Butterfly Spirit. And I put them and sat them over top of the two cards they come out over top of, and the Fear one sits over top of the Sorcerer. Why is that so, Annie? Why have we got fear around being who you are, being the source of what it is you want to say and do? That's what I'm getting on. It's clearly giving me a message that you're concerned and worried, and you're fearful of stepping out and being the sorcerer, being the source of um, being the source of information, being the bearer of the light. Annie, you're worried about that, darling. Don't be. Don't be worried about it. I know how it is to be fearful and to be worried about doing something. That's how I felt when I first started this, and it nearly held me back, nearly stopped me from doing it, because I certainly was feeling quite fearful about it. Silly things, really silly things. So I just want to tell you, or assure you, there's no need for you to be worried and upset and all those sort of things, and fearful. So don't be fearful. Okay, the butterfly spirit sits over top of this card of activating awareness. Now, I just want to say that there's a whole bunch of stuff going on with you. It's like, what am I getting? It's a bit like, you know, that sort of thing. Like there's all these, you know, um, a bit like a firecracker. There's all this going off, you know, around this whole activating awareness thing. So many things, so much, like so it's a bit fireworksy, if that makes sense to you. That's what I'm getting, that's what I'm feeling. The butterfly spirit is a wonderful thing because this whole activating awareness is connected over here to the source and the fear and the whole thing. And this is because you're spreading your wings. Okay, I'm going to give it to you. You're spreading your wings, darling. You're looking to you've just sort of like you're coming out of being asleep, and there's this huge awareness setting in on you, and you're feeling yeah, you want to get out there and you want to do something with this, but you're fearful of it. Now, I don't mind your feedback. Give me your feedback, darling, because I am so very happy to have it. So please give me feedback because I love to hear from you. And I want more comments. More comments. Come on. There's many thousands of people come along, and comments. Make more comments. Come on, make more comments. I want to hear from you. Okay, so Annie, I hope that makes sense to you. Blessings from me, and you know, sources with you, darling. Sources there. Don't be afraid, because really, at the end of the day, source is all we have. We're connected to it very clearly. Okay, Aloha 911. That's what I picked out. So Aloha 911. From memory, I think that this is your first time, or you've just come along to the the website, to the channel, and welcome to you. And I do hope that you return and you come back. And I'm doing this for you. I'm not sure what's going on with you. Um, are you in Hawaii or on an island somewhere, surrounded by water, like I am? A bit of a kindred spirit there. Um, I live on a big island surrounded by water too. We might miss it at times because it's a big island. It's the smallest continent in the world and the largest island. It sure is a biggie. And we're surrounded by water and, you know, thousands of other islands as well, which we don't tend to sort of think about really. Okay, so one more little shuffle, it tells me. Aloha, 911. I'm going to pick out a couple of cards. Oh, okay. All right. The cards that come up are these. One is called the Mystical Muse, and the other one is Consciousness. Now, what do they mean, and what does that mean in this reading for you? Okay, what I'm going to say here in this reading is the Mystical Muse, as it came out, what I got around it was um, you're a good backup. You know, you're a good muse. You're a good backup. You like supporting other people. You like being able to you know, lift them up and help them. You're a good support. You like being in a role of supporting. Um, hmm. And this consciousness card, and the card, I just want to put a couple of others with these because there's something that was coming to me, and I just want to clarify that a bit. I'll turn these over because I just want to consciousness. Okay, yep, okay, all right. Yep. Okay. All right. I got it. Okay, what's come out is this consciousness card. Over top of it sits transformation, and the other card that sits over top of it is inspiration. Now, you're being inspired at the moment. You'd like to move from just being amused to people and being supportive and being there in that role for people, which you're very, very good at. But you're also looking to have a more co-creative space. Okay, so you've been there supporting, helping, doing those sorts of things, but in a more you want to be in a more supportive space. You want to be doing you want to be doing something else. You want to be co-creating now. You want to begin something, start something. You want to you're in this you're in this space of energy. You're in this space of for goodness sake, give me something to do space. And that's coming from this feminine within you, and that's the big movement we all have at this point of time with this feminine energy. Is we're all being called and drawn and pulled forward into um, standing up for things, for being present, for speaking out. And if we haven't spoken out before, now's a bloody good time to do it. Can I say that? And I think I made that comment to somebody last night who's head of a big organisation, a big worldwide organisation of women, business women, who just all got together for about 1,000 of them in New York from all over the world. And they finally decided that they don't take sides. They don't do anything in that respect. They have an organisation that where they support one another, but they've decided and just made a resolution that they will speak out for women's rights and women's rights to their own body and to, those things. And I thought, goody for you. And we've been called to do that. Why is that coming up? It's coming up because there's something around you in relation to that. Give me some feedback. I don't know what that is, but I just want you to give me feedback on it. Okay. All right. Now let's get down at the topic of predictions of connection and unity, and talking about this earth angel that revisited me again. I'm going to close my eyes. I don't go into a trance, but I do go into a meditative space, because the meditative space takes me to the images and the things that I want to talk about. And a couple of things have been coming. Questions. They want me to tell you that they want me to explain this to you. That many of you wonder, how is it? How is it that, you're here in this family? I don't feel I belong. I don't feel I fit. I don't feel, and you have this, struggle with belonging and fitting and being part of. And what they want me to tell you is this. They want me to tell you that you do, and that there's this. These are my words. I'm taking their words and I'm putting it into my words. And my words are that this is what I call, or what's been given to me is what I'm saying is, they're saying, talking about a soul cell. They're talking about before you arrive here in human form, in a physical space on earth, that it's a bit like, you put your hand up for the experience to fulfill the aspects of your soul that you need to work on, and the things that you have to come again to work through. And that your soul cell, that there's a whole group of other people whose soul initially, they all decided that when it was your turn and when you were to come and when you were to be here, that you'd come into their cell, you'd join them, because they would provide for you. All of those people that you will meet, that family that you come into, all of that is there as a support structure. So perhaps this is a whole different thing for you, and something that you're probably going, oh, Lordy, what is that about? But it's a whole structure that was put in place for you to have the best and most wonderful opportunity for you to grow, and and it mightn't seem like that at times, and it doesn't for a lot of us. At times we feel, what the am I doing here with this lot? But we're here, and look further, and just know that everybody around you, everybody that comes into your space, everybody that you come across, all of those that you meet and chat with and have experiences with, are all part of this opportunity for you to grow as a spiritual being. So you're having this earth experience for this physical beingness, for your growth as a physical being. I'm opening my eyes, because what they're saying to me, oh, that it has become tough. They're acknowledging that. They're saying, yep, we get it. We know that you're all struggling a bit. You're all being tested. You've got this going on over here. You've got, this. You've got political upheavals. You've got wars. It's like they're saying to me, you're all living through what you feel at the moment is trauma, but you came for it. That's what they're telling me. They want you to know that you came for it, so you're up for it. Oh, okay. That's an interesting way of putting it. So they're saying, tick, you came for it, you're up for it. If you weren't, you would have done what lots of other souls have done, and you would have decided to leave the planet at the time when it became tough. When the tough gets going, or when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And in this particular case, you're either going with it and seeing it through and expanding and growing and understanding, or you're opting out, you're leaving, to return to source. Oh, okay. But what's going on now is they're telling me also that there's a gathering. There's a gathering in the heavens, and there's a gathering here on earth. And the gathering here on earth is this gathering of strength. All of you who are here because you're strong, you're amazing, you're spectacular, and you chose to be here, like I said, and now you're being tested, but you're gathering. We are gathering those around us who we draw strength from and we give strength to. I'm opening my eyes, and that's very, very interesting, because I really felt strongly about that when I came on air today, because I thought, wow, I felt such an overwhelming feeling of, I'm here because of all of you, and you're all here because of me. and we're drawing this strength from each other. We 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 need each other. And more of that's going to happen. There's a powerful moving in the heavens, and there is, and we know it because the recent light show that we had, all that went on with all across the world, all that, pardon me, big light show that we had, was only just the beginning. And I said it last week, and I'm going to say it again this week: expect the unexpected, because we're going to be gathering and growing together. And what they're also telling me is that there are lesser known angels. We know about the major archangels. We know about those archangels. We know about Michael and Raphael and Uriel, and we know about a lot of those angels. But there's a lot of lesser known angels who are waiting to connect with you. And what they're saying to me is, whilst we don't have to speak to communicate with most of the angels, that these particular angels will not enter or come along or be in your space unless you ask for them, where you physically ask. Okay, so if you want their help, their comfort, their input, you have to ask. And you'll find a way, the best way for yourself to ask. But just know that they are messengers of source. And one of the ways to begin all communication is to acknowledge and to be able to say, I'm open and allowing for you to give me messages. I'm open and allowing for you to help me with this question. I'm open and allowing for the answers that you may have for me, and I'll be watching for those. I'll be expecting those. So talk to them in those ways. That's what they're telling me. Speak to them in ways. So this is a huge homecoming, so to speak, because I'm just getting such. I think that's why Sandolphin returned. He returned because it's time. He's returning because when I had this experience years ago, it was about a well, and I was, as I said, I was very, very ill, and he pointed out about the well and looking in and going into the well, and there's a metaphor in that metaphor, which I wasn't fully aware of at the time, but I've realised it since. The metaphor in that is that is the deep inner part of ourselves, our intuitive, our super consciousness, our where we connect to spirit, source, archangels, lesser known angels, to realms and areas that many years ago, if we had talked about these things, we would have been laughed at and ridiculed. But we all know that there's more. We all know that there's something else for us. So we're being called. We're being called. This whole thing around connection and unity, I'm giving you the prediction that we are, and we will be, even though there's incredible turmoil and there's incredible upsets in the world and there's seemingly all this upheaval, we're incredibly powerful. You're incredibly powerful. And as women, you're being called. You've been called. Don't ignore the call. Don't brush it aside. Don't say, well, what can, just little old me do, because that's not enough. You chose to be here at this time. You chose to work through this. You chose to be present to it, and you chose to have it for the learning experience that you need. And there's a great opportunity here, an enormous opportunity here for you to be the magnificent and spectacular being that you are and that you came to be. That's what they're telling. Expect more, and expect the unexpected. Whew. More things are happening. More things are happening. And I look forward myself to receiving more information from those on the other side, and for connections in whatever way they see fit to bring those to me and when. And they're certainly coming through dreams and lots of stuff, so much stuff. Thank you, darlings. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being present. Oh, I so love you all, and I really, really, really am looking forward to, hopefully in the not too distant future, not this year, but next year maybe. I'm hoping at some time that I'll come visit, and I'd love to do that. I'd love to meet with as many of you as I possibly can. I love you. You're in my heart when I leave. I take you with me, and I bless you and bless your lives, and I send lots of blessings out to you. Until next time, love from me, Wallis. Talk soon. Bye for now.